What is up, you guys? It's the Michael Myers. Welcome back to a brand new video. Today, I'm gonna be showing you guys this custom Jason Voorhees mask from Friday the 13th, part 4, the final chapter. So yeah, actually just finished with this project, or I wouldn't say completely finished. I do plan on going back, adding a few final touches and stuff like that. I actually wasn't planning to make a new part 4 mask. I am currently working on the part 4 costume test. The costume is pretty much done with. All I needed was, the weathering on the clothing. But one thing I wasn't really sure on was the mask itself. As you guys know, I do own the NECA part 4 Jason mask, which I think is a pretty good mask. I was obviously going to use that one for the cosplay. I don't really recommend them for cosplay purposes because they are kind of fragile. They're mostly for display. But recently I did order this hood, one of my latest new scores. Like I said, for cosplay purposes, I do actually have another hood, which I was gonna use. But one thing I realized, man, when I received the hood, I was kind of trying it on with the NECA mask. And I think the NECA mask was a bit too small for this hood. And like I said, I don't really want to force it neither because like I said, those NECA masks are kind of fragile. So what I did was I grabbed an older, custom Jason mask that I had. I literally have like 2 remake masks that I made, out of blanks a while back. I pretty much removed, all the paint job and I started it from scratch, man. I wasn't really too sure about it, honestly. I really not the greatest when it comes to, custom making hockey mask. I've done a few in the past, but not that great. But I'm gonna be honest with you guys, this hockey mask right here is the first one where I actually did like, and I'm really surprised how this came out. So I think this was the better route to go, man, and I'm definitely glad I did not use that NECA mask. And I took it upon myself to make this part 4 hockey mask. Like I said, I might go back, touch it up a bit. I think the paint job on the hockey mask came out pretty good, dude. I really do like the weathering, the damage. That's one thing that I really do suck at, doing like the weathering and stuff like that. When I do it, I feel like I overdo it and it just looks like these big paint spots. So I was really careful, man, and I really took my time with the weathering, the scratching, as you guys can see. Of course, I had to add the scratching on there. Of course, by part 4, man, his mask is in the greatest condition, as you guys can see. The chevrons. Another thing I suck at is, doing the chevrons. My brother actually helped me out with the chevrons. He's a little bit more gifted talent-wise. So, yeah, I mean, even with the chevrons, man, I think these are the best ones I've done. If you guys seen my other custom hockey masks, the chevrons are terrible. But yeah, man, I mean, I really do like the hockey mask. The color, the off-white, I know in part 4 is a little bit more yellowish. The NECA mask, I always thought it was a bit too yellow. And like I said, I think the NECA mask is pretty good. I know they've also have later reproductions of the part 4 mask. I think they're still producing some to this day. But from what I've seen, people say is, those later productions didn't really look like the part 4 mask compared to the earlier, part 4 masks that NECA released. And yeah, I actually do own one of those early runs of the part 4. I remember getting it at Toys R Us back in the day. So a lot of people say that first run of the part 4 mask by NECA is a little bit more accurate. It's a really good mask. Like I said, I might bring it out right now, but the only thing, I just felt it was a little too yellowish. Other than, it being quite fragile for a cosplay, I felt it was too yellowish. So that was one thing. I was really careful with this mask. The tone of it, I didn't want to do it too yellow. I believe it's actually acrylic, which Not the best route, to be honest. I've seen mostly people usually, they spray paint the almond color and stuff like that, but I really did not have any spray cans, man. So I just gave it like 3-4 layers of like, this tan color and yellow. I mixed it up, and I gave about 3-4 layers, man, until I was satisfied with the tone. And like I said, it's not too yellowish, it's not too whitish neither. I think it turned out pretty good, man. Like I said, I'm actually really happy with this. So yeah, and I know the part 4 mask, it has different looks. Of course, by the end of the movie, the chevrons, of course, were gone. Which I was not gonna do them, but I decided I'm gonna just throw them in there, And then the chevron up here, of course, I did weather in the damage from half of the chevron missing, as you guys can see. Of course, up here we got the blood paint job, of course, from the axe wound, as you guys can see right there. Like I said, I took my time, man, when it comes to the scratching. Like I said, I didn't really want to overdo it. Now, one thing, as you guys probably noticed, you could say this is probably like the main turn off to this mask, is this right here. When I was in the early stages of working on this mask, I was still, sanding it, trying to get some of that previous paint it had. And next thing you know, man, I saw that it was broken. And I'm like, oh no. As you guys can see, looks kind of ugly. But from what I remember, of course, especially in the part 4, he does have quite some damage in the nose. I mean, it's not as noticeable. Like I said, as you guys can see, I kind of tried going over it, weathering it, but honestly, it's not the biggest deal. If we're talking about movie accuracy, I'm not sure if the nose was actually broken or if it's just like scuffed up weathering. But like I said, it's not really as noticeable. I mean, it does suck that this had to happen, but I really don't mind, man. Like I said, I'm really digging the paint job of this hockey mask. I used plenty of references photos. I even used the NECA mask, to go over some of the main weathering spots. Like, for example, I noticed the main weathering was like around the bottom here, right here. Of course, big scratches on top. Not, perfect, of course, but it's definitely resembles, man, the movie, the mask from the final chapter. So here's the hood. Like I said, this is one of those cheap hoods from eBay, which you could get for like 10-15 bucks. You look up zombie mask or old man mask, and I think they really do the job, dude. I mean, especially if you're on a budget, if you're trying to put together like a Jason cosplay or a Jason hood. So yeah, for the hood, it fits pretty good. What I had to do, and I'm still gonna go back, also work on the hood. One thing I did cut out the holes a bit bigger, because it was kind of showing like the flesh tone. As you guys can see, I might have to cut that a little bit more. Another thing I definitely have to do as well is go right here and do some paint job, man. For the axe wound, I know it already has blood, but I'm definitely gonna add more. Make it a little bit more stand out, make it stand out a little bit more, and make it like drip down his face like it was in the movie. So yeah, that's one thing I gotta do. The other thing I did with the hood was as you guys can see on this ear, I did glue down the bottom of the ear. If you do that, it kind of makes the ear pop out a little bit more. So I think that's really Jason like, especially part 3, part 4. So yeah, I glued down bottom of the ear. Stood out a little bit more compared to this one. But yeah, I might go back, glue it a little bit more, because I kind of did use some cheap glue, so it might end up coming out, but that's how it is for now, man. Of course, we got the neck piece, just has these blood spots or whatever, but once I do, you know, those little details I need to do with the hood, I will eventually do a update on the mask before I give you guys the cosplay, the costume test. Like I said, if you guys have any tips, any recommendations how to improve the mask, definitely let me know, man. Yeah, guys, that's gonna be pretty much it. Thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned for more videos. Stay tuned for the cosplay. There's a few Jason cosplays that I'm currently working on, man. So definitely stay tuned. Don't worry. I also have Michael Myers costume tests coming soon, man. So I know you guys would definitely like that. So thank you guys for watching. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. It's the Michael Myers signing out.